Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mailbox Power Mastermind call, where we come together every single Monday morning as affiliates to learn how to grow our Mailbox Power business alongside whatever business it is that you are doing. Many people who are in Mailbox Power have a primary business, and this is their secondary. Mike and I, this is our primary business. So it's a chance to learn how to grow your Mailbox Power business. But the principles and the concepts you learn here can grow any business. And that's why I highly recommend we get more people on this call. And I said I was going to issue a challenge. And I think what I'm going to do is, I know what I'll do. You're going to have to text me who you invite so that I know that it was you that invited them. So you're going to have to text or Facebook message me that you have invited people to this call. Facebook message might be the easiest way for me to keep track of it. And if they show up on this call, you're going to get an entry for everyone who shows up on this call over the next couple of months. After a couple of months, so we'll end it. We're at the end of February, basically. So at the end of April. So you got 8 weeks to participate in this contest. At the end of 8 weeks, would all of you like the chance at winning one design from Mike and I? I figured that's a pretty good fair trade. So let's beef up this call. Let's get lots of people on it so that we can grow our businesses and learn from more people. And again, the end of April. So I'd have to look at a calendar, whatever that last Monday is in April, that will be the end. So you can invite people to that call and you will get an entry. But the only way you get an entry is you have to text me to tell me who you invited to the call. And if there may be people that multiple people invite, and I'll have to figure out how we handle that if that happens. But if you just invite your teams and the people who are close to you, I don't think we'll have a ton of overlap. And let's see how big we can get this call. Thank you. The 29th of April is the last day. So I'm going to make myself a note, end of April. Put the 29th. One entry per guest that you invite. And when I mean guest, it's got to be another affiliate. We don't want guests that are not Mailbox Power affiliates to be invited, because this is not a call to pitch Mailbox Power. So if they aren't a current affiliate, let's keep it to just affiliates, and you'll get one entry for every person who actually shows up that you invited. Easter is early, it's March 31st. Interesting. I don't know why, but I wasn't even tracking that. So thanks for the reminder of when Easter is, because that means we're only a month away from Easter. So those that celebrate Easter, you need to start planning if you're going to send stuff out for the holidays, especially if you're a Christian-based business. I don't know if anybody is a Christian-based business on here, but some people have businesses that are faith-based. And if you wanted to send something out for that holiday, now would be the time to start planning that to get it in the mail. But I can tell you that a holiday that everybody can celebrate and is fun is St. Patty's Day is around the corner. I know it's only February, but guess what? We only have a few days left in February because it's a short month. So you need to get those. And Wendy did a video. She posted a video of some golf balls that are for St. Patty's Day, and there's quite a few designs in the design catalog for that. But I always like to start our Mondays and our weeks off with wins, with positive things. And so wins for specifically Mailbox Power. So does anybody have any wins they would like to share before we start doing some training? Machen.
I was thinking, what's my win? Do I have a win? I updated my birthday cards. I created a inexpensive postcard campaign as well, so I could try to compete and get on that. Try to get 1,000 birthdays plus. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, and I actually sent them out. I actually put activate and they went out. So, that's my win.
Awesome. Cool. Anybody else? Neil.
I don't know if I said this last week because it might have overlapped, but I did another one of those campaigns and I got one sale out of it already.
Wow.
I got a second quote that was a $1,500 sale.
Nice.
The second one is just a quote at this point, but it's $6,700
nice
order.
Nice.
So,
awesome.
So we'll find out. That's not all profit, but it's
right. But again, and I don't know what your profit margin is, but let's say it's only 10%. If it's a $6,700, that's $670.
Yeah.
That pays
more than
for 3 months of your Mailbox Power membership.
Yeah, it's 25%.
So you've got 6 months plus paid for of your Mailbox Power membership, if that. And that's what you really need to think about. And that's what we need to keep people in. And I've found lately, when I'm talking to people who are thinking of canceling their Mailbox Power or are on the fence and haven't started, they're looking for bigger returns. They're looking for, because we've heard the stories of the $10,000 client or the $5,000 client or commission. And when they don't see that big of a sale, they're like, well, it's not working for me. It's not successful. They need to keep it in perspective. Different businesses have different commissions for what they sell. So somebody who, oh, there's a little one. Come say hi to everybody. Can you say hi? Hi. Say, have a good week, everybody.
Have a good week, everybody.
All right, I got to do my meeting. You go see Papa, okay? Oh, you're going to stay here with me? Oh, all right. He's going to do the meeting. Oh, look, there's another little one. There's Machen's daughter. Do you see her?
Yeah.
We have our next generation of Mailbox Power affiliates on the call today.
They've been here since your first call. You know what I'm saying? They know a thing or two.
Yes, they do. So I want you to keep in perspective, because I've had to have this conversation with some people that don't think they're getting much success out of Mailbox Power. And I ask them, how much did it cost you to send that mailing? Whether it be birthday cards, whether it be prospecting and you went to an event and you sent 10 cards with brownies out, or whatever that might be. So your expense is X. Did you get more than that back in a return? Lucas, I can't have you do that. Please keep your hands right here.
Brenda, I have a new case study where I could share that. Like, I specifically know, because it's easy to look in here and see exactly how much you sent to one specific person once they convert. And I didn't even think to really do that for that specific person. I look at my account as a whole and then my company as a whole. But looking at one single person, too, is kind of a powerful little case study on the relationship.
Thank you. It is a very powerful thing. And it might not be the same return on every. That's why a lot of people like to look at it as on a whole as an account. But if you know you have a 30% closing rate, and let's use Machen's example, let's say you have a 30% closing rate when you're prospecting, and let's say it cost $50 to send that package. Well, think about your closing rate. If you spend $50, how many times do you have to spend $50? It doesn't take long spending $50 to recoup huge benefits depending on the size of the sale. I know Machen's products, he has some that are smaller, his trainings, but he also has some pretty big packages. And so like for Machen that does a website or a lawyer or a real estate agent that has a big ticket item, they can spend, like my lawyer spent $8,000, and everybody was like, whoa, I have to spend $8,000 to get a return. But guess what? He got 3 clients out of it, and he's a personal injury attorney. He's making way more than that. Way more than that, even on one client. So, and others trickled in after. So we really need to educate our prospects and our customers and make sure they're really looking at this is if it is, sometimes it's not, but if it's profitable, even if they're only making, they're spending $1 and they're making 2, so they really made $1. It's still, if you gave me $1 and I gave you 2 back, how often would you do it? Yeah. Neil.
Over again.
Yeah, exactly.
And Brenda, we need to make sure we make sure we don't just get short-sightedness. If you continue your follow-up with them, they send out your first batch, and let's say you only get 2, and they're not happy with returns. If you continue that, a certain percentage of them are going to turn into customers.
Yeah.
You're really, I think Mason, I don't remember how you say his name, whatever, but
Machen.
what is your lifetime value of your customer? And then,
Thank you, Neil.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what's really important. I know for sure that I will be keeping up on the one thing I did, I call it Spec 12. On that Spec 12, 2 of my were just flat out prospects that I had never met before. I haven't gotten a return phone call back from them yet. That doesn't matter though, because they're going to get another package of
And
brownies or
another. Mhm.
Are you
something
reaching
else
out
in a
to them,
couple of
Neil?
weeks.
Are
And
you
then they'll
reaching
think
out?
of me. Oh yeah, okay. And then I'll send a postcard series, But one time they'll call me.
Yep.
There's a good chance of that. So
Yeah.
Are you
Hey.
picking up the phone and calling them, Neil?
I do as the follow-up.
Yeah.
What I did on the first one, I just sent them a jelly bean card.
Mhm.
The jelly bean card with a thing of jelly beans in there, or whatever they call them things. And I just said, hey, you've been really neat. Enjoy your jelly beans. By the way, there's another package coming. So they're looking with anticipation as to something into the future. And I sent them that package outside of the Mailbox Power system, more industry, for my industry.
What's your
And then
industry?
I start my follow-up series,
What's your industry?
promotional products.
Well, I'm in the same industry. I want to
Oh.
listen to you.
Call me sometime.
I just closed a $24,000 deal with Mailbox Power.
Awesome. Congratulations, Mike.
And
Wow.
it's exactly what he's doing. I just put in the chat box a link, and it tells you the cost per lead per industry.
Yep.
And if you click on that, it's just going to shock you of what people are willing to pay per industry. I mean, it gets up into the $700-800 per lead for some attorneys and
Yep.
some of that. And so don't feel like you need to do this. But what I did was I put together a automation, and I don't know if anybody remembers Whole Hogs,
Mhm.
the lunch and learn that um, Joe did, and so I put together a program similar to that, but I also synchronized it with I've got Rocket Notes, but you can synchronize emails with MailChimp or what have you to do a follow-up mail, and then I pick up the phone and I call them. And so it's, what I do is I start off with a email, then I send out the item. And the first item I sent out was the cup of dice. We've got some really neat stuff. And then the second item I sent out, and then I have a email, then a phone call, then another email, and then I send out another item. I send out a ruler, and it says if you can't measure it, you can't manage it with the ruler.
Ooh,
And so,
Oh, I love that, Mike.
yeah.
Stop and reiterate that, because I think people need to hear that, because that is a great, and I don't think that design is in the design store. So you probably had to create something on your
yeah,
own.
I created that. And so it's an old Sam. I can't remember who the quote from, but if you can't measure it, if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. And then the ruler went out. And so people really kind of honed into that. Now, also, I'm an executive member, so I sent in a combination can of WD-40 and duct tape. And so it's fulfilled with 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 a card that I have done, and on the card the tagline is, if it moves and shouldn't, use duct tape. If it doesn't move and shouldn't, use WD-40.
I
And
love
so
it.
and so
Cute.
that really got a lot of attention, because and I had AI do all the, help me out with all the copy, and if you want to use Chat GPT and stuff. So they did a copy of the emails and then along with the script. So bottom line, this is when you put it into other channels such as email and just picking up the phone, it can be a real, and the last card I sent out is just a card saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, nothing worked out, yada da da, but I'm the old fishing. I guess we have a fishing deal of the fish, and I'm fishing for referrals." And I sent out a package of the gummy fish.
Swedish fish, yeah.
Yeah, Swedish fish. And so, I'm that costs a little bit of money, but a account can be worth a lot of money to me, for this. And so, I mean, we could look at hundreds of thousands of dollars, but that that average, so people feel comfortable with what they're selling. Like you said, some people say, God, it costs $800 or $1,000 or whatever it is. When you're competing against the big boys, that's what you got to spend.
Mhm.
And if you can bring down that cost per lead, you're going to be a hero.
And that's what I was gonna say, Mike. I'm trying to remember who else. Somebody had shared that quite a while back, the cost per lead. It might have been Brian, or it might have been Will or something on a training. And we had grabbed that, and I've used it quite a few times. And if you're talking to somebody in a given industry and you go look at what the cost per lead is, and they gasp and they're like, yeah, not me, they're probably not your client. And it's okay.
Yep.
I'm going to say it again. It's okay that they are not your ideal client. It's okay to say no to them. I used to be of the mindset that I never told somebody no. It was only if they told me no. But I've gotten confident in what I do and who I want to serve. And sorry, I don't want the PETA clients. I'll take a few of them because they're friends, or they're people that have large networks and they have connections to other people. And if they get a great result, they're going to talk about it. But you don't have to. And this was a mindset that I had to overcome. Steve Schultz was really good at helping me, Steve and Vanessa, to overcome that. but everybody is not your ideal client. And that was part of the training that I wanted to do today in the last few minutes. I went to a conference called Speakonomics. And there are many people that won't go to it because they're like, I don't want to speak on big stages. I don't, because it's all about speaking. Their advertising or their marketing is on, speaking from stages.
Wow.
But right now, talking to you, I'm on a stage. When you're at BNI and you're giving your commercial, you're on a stage. If you're in an elevator and somebody asks you what you do, guess what? That's a stage. It's just not what we all think of as a stage. And there are a few things that I learned that I wanted to share with all of you. We've had this training before, but it hit me a little differently on Friday and Saturday when I heard some of the things again. And I'm hoping that maybe it'll be an aha for you, or you'll look at it a little differently. Who is, and these are questions you should be asking your clients, potential clients for Mailbox Power also. Who is your ideal audience / client? What do they look like? Are they a male? Are they a female? Are they a blue collar, a white collar worker? Are they, do they have kids? Are they, what age are they? Do they boat? Do they ski? Are they golfers? Or look at, I want you to all go back and look at your client base now. And I want you to see if you see a trend. And maybe not your entire client base, but who are your top 5 or 10, or your top 2 or 3 if you don't have very many. Hold on one second, sweetie, I'm training. Hold on one second, guys. He had to tell me what he was going to go do. So look at that and look at your best clients revenue bringing in, and best clients, those that you absolutely love working with, because it might be 2 different returns. And it's okay that the people you love working with don't bring in as much return as the others, and you may want to switch, because we all want to do what we love to do. We have a hard time. Don't quit on a bad day. If you have a lot of PETA clients, even if they bring in a lot of money to you, if you're not happy serving them, you're going to have a real hard time getting past those bad days or getting through those bad days. Be very specific. And where are they in business? I've known this. I ask customers this, but for some reason it started to really hit me for my own elevator pitch. Where are they in business? Are they a starter business? Are they the first 1 to 2 years in business? Are they 3 to 5 years in business? Are they over 5 years in business? That's for Mailbox Power. Now, obviously, if you're selling a product to clients, B2C, like Kimberly, her other product is, it can be B2B, but it's a lot of to the customer. What's your ideal customer look like? For me, I started to think, for me, and all of you might be different when it comes to Mailbox Power, my ideal client is a business owner or a sales team lead. Not a salesman, a sales team lead. Now that could be computer sales, it could be auto sales, it could be real estate sales, it could be mortgage, it could be insurance sales. They're team leads, people who lead teams of sales professionals, especially if they're commission-based. For me, I find somebody who's been in business 3 to 5 years. Sure, I help a lot of startup businesses too that are just a few years in, because Mailbox Power can be great for those small startup businesses because it's not a huge expense. But my ideal client is generally been in business 3 to 5 years. So they've seen some success. They've gotten past doing it all on their own. And they've gotten to a point generally in business that they're trying to figure out how to put, unfortunately, new businesses don't do what businesses in the 3 to 5, in general, the 3 to 5 year mark do. The 3 to 5 year mark, they're like, oh, I don't have any time with my family. I don't have any time for this. I don't have any time for that. I need to put systems and processes in place. And guess what? Mailbox Power is a system and process they can put in place. And many new businesses will not spend the money to put those things in place early on to ensure their success quicker than other businesses. Where is the quote? Oh, the other thing is I want to challenge you all. We did our message multiple times and we had to keep doing iterations. Make sure your message is clear. Share it with, if you're in a BNI, do a small group and ask them to critique. And ask them, do you understand what I do? Weekly, when I give my presentation, do you understand what I do? If they say no, you're missing the mark and you need to change it. And then you don't need to do this in BNI, but when you're in an elevator or someplace, you really need to get that message down so succinct that you can say it in 11 words or less. So I want you to practice that this week. Craft your commercial and start getting rid of all the fluff that we tend to want to tell somebody everything. It needs to just pique their interest that, ooh, wait a minute, I need to hear more. And where is the quote that I wanted to share with you?
Well, and if you guys are looking for something, don't be afraid to use ChatGPT.
Oh, yes. There was a whole section on ChatGPT. So the other thing is create urgency. You need to offer your prospects a must-have purchase instead of a nice-to-have purchase by creating a sense of urgency. A bonus, the 90-day special. Use that as a sense of urgency. It's $199 a month, and they're kind of pausing. You've overcome some of the objections. Well, I think I'll wait. Well, guess what? If you sign up right now, I have the ability to offer you 90 days for $449. You need that sense of urgency. If you don't give that, they're like, well, it'll be here tomorrow. It'll be here next week. If you don't give them something that's a sense of urgency, they may not make the decision today. And it is, I can't find it, darn it. But basically, people pay, so you're going to pay one way or another. You're either going to pay in time or you're going to pay in speed. So, and I'm trying to remember the exact quote, darn it. But anyways, people will pay for speed. And if you want to get there quicker, and you can say this to your businesses, sure, you can set it all up on your own and it can take 3 to 5 months for you to really learn the system and figure it out and set up your automations, or you can write a check for speed today and pay me. Or you can write a check for speed today and I can connect you with Mike and Brenda who can help you get it set up right away. Because if it takes you 3 to 5 months and you're on the executive membership, even if you did the 90-day, you're paying $449. And if you never use the system in those 3 months, you just spent $449. And it took you 3 months to get to where somebody who will write the check for $449 today is starting to see results next week or 2 weeks from now versus 3 months from now. So ask your clients or say to them, you can either pay in time or you can write a check and pay for speed and get there quicker. And there's lots more I can share from that, but we are at the bottom of the hour, and I so appreciate all of you. As a reminder, we do have a contest going on through the end of April. You must Facebook message me who you are inviting to the call. If they show up, and you might have to help me, and I might have to recruit Lulu because she helps me, who the new people are, and we'll write them down, and then I'll go back and figure out who invited them so that I can give you credit. And you get 1 point for every guest. And at the end of April, we will do a drawing. It'll probably be the first one in May is when I do it. We will do a drawing for a free design, one, whether it be a postcard or a card, you'll get one free design from Mike and I.
Nice.
You can use it for yourself, or better yet, you could use it as an urgency thing to say, if you sign up today, because you know they need to design something, if you sign up today, I can offer you a free design because you won the design from us. So that, you know, there's multiple ways you can use it. You can use it for yourself, or you can use it to build your business and use it for a client that is a great client of yours and has been for years, or to close a prospect. So I hope that excites all of you, and that we get a whole bunch of people coming to the call so that we can all elevate our businesses, because a rising tide lifts all ships. So with that, have an amazing week, everyone, and I will see you next Monday on Mailbox Power Mastermind.
Thank you. Great call.